Hey, hi, and hello, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you're doing well. And it's time for our weekly track roundup. My thoughts, my feelings, my opinions, my everything on a bunch of tracks that have dropped over the past week or so. Whether I loved them or hated them or felt somewhere in between, they're going to be linked down below so you can check them out for yourselves. Also linked down below, of course, is our Turntable Lab link. We get kickback from it if you use it to buy some records, some vinyl, some albums, some LPs, some plastic discs that you put on the record player, whatever those are called. Yeah, there's that, and there's also, of course, our Patreon page where, you can get some extra bonus monthly content while supporting us in the process. Cool? All right, our TND Streams or Fantano Streams page is linked down below, too. We just kind of switched over to that name. I'll update this card, and on top of that, Fantano Shorts, short-form content, all that good stuff, that is linked down below, too. All right, let's do a quick shout out as well. Austin wants to push a record in your direction. This new Mabe Fratti record. Mabe is a cellist and a singer whose songs Austin says she doesn't know how to describe because she is not a review. You really need to write these in a way to where I can just read them. I'm an idiot. I'm just a dumb. I just need to read a word like a dumb guy, and if I read this word for word, I'm speaking in your voice, and I don't want to do that. Might prefer the slightly more abstract sound of her last solo record, but apparently this new one over here is a nice happy medium with some catchier tracks on it. So if you're looking for something that's kind of on the left field, more experimental, some cool vocal and cello stuff, I was sampling it myself, seemed very intriguing. Give it a shot. Give it a listen, and gonna leave it there. All right, cool. Worst tracks of the week. We have a handful of those. We have a few. They are as follows. Let's go. Tizo Touchdown has come through with this new song for the Despicable Me 4 soundtrack. None of your business. It's horrible. But I mean, it's for a Despicable Me soundtrack. So, I mean, it's kind of meeting expectations. I'm not going to read into it or anything like that. It's just kind of funny and cute that this crossover happened, I suppose. We also have Corey Feldman. The joke is on you. Oh, how did this make it into the worst section? I meant to put it in the greatest of all time songs section for the greatest songs that have ever been recorded. Corey Feldman going full Tommy Wiseau on this new track and telling us, hey, you thought my music was funny? It's because it was supposed to be funny. I tricked you. You got tricked, bitch. You got tricked. So Corey tricked us all. Good on him. Good on Corey for tricking us, doing a little spoof and a goof. The Feldman is running wild. All right, we also have this new one from Bright Eyes, which sounds like if you tried to make an emo version of like YouTube royalty-free music, bells and whistles. This is a piss-poor single. What is this? Please. And also this new Block Party song, Flirting Again. I'm scratching my head even more at this. What is this? This is like weak, unlistenable, weird, awkward. I do not get this. I really do not. Let's move on to also a new track from Will Smith, of all people. Yes, he has come through with like a motivational, epic, anthemic Christian rap song that's gonna make you really fight for a brighter day. It's so cringe. I can't. And he really could have like lifted some spirits on the track by introing his verses with a nice like ha ha ha, like a nice ha ha, that nice hearty Will Smith laugh. But he couldn't even do that. So it's quite sad. All right, let's move on to the tracks that I was on the fence with, not that into. You might like them more than me. They are as follows. We have a new one from Tinashe, Getting No Sleep. I don't know. I personally, I feel like the song is quite sleepy. Kind of seems like she's putting in a lot of work, putting a lot of hours, wearing herself out, because that's really what this track is all about. Like really being on her creative grind with everything that she's doing as of late. And since she has been going independent, getting a little more left field, being more creative, making more waves, doing bigger numbers, I mean, you know, I think the narrative kind of makes sense. I mean, I don't know if it makes for the strongest song per se, but you know, Nasty is most definitely doing numbers. You cannot deny that. We have a new one from Lil Nas X from a soundtrack. Here We Go is the name of the track. It's just kind of okay. It's just some decent pop rap music. Nothing to stand out. He's definitely dropped stronger stuff than this, that's for sure. We also have this new one from MJ Lenderman. Kind of a sad track about someone leaving you. She's Leaving You is the title. But instrumentally, aesthetically, kind of average, a little generic, but not too bad. I'll leave it there. We also have an extra from the recent Kim Gordon record, ECRP. That one's not too bad. Not as mind-blowing as some of the key tracks from the collective, but, you know, still worth a listen if you were a fan of the album. We also have a new one from DOI Rocket, kind of a mild one from her, groovy, low-key, mild, definitely not on the banger level of Alter Ego, but, you know, they can't all be fire. We also have a new one from DJ Sabrina, the teenage DJ in silence. Seems DJ Sabrina is trying to give us like a nice straightforward piece of dance pop with a very clear, very direct lead vocal. It's not too bad. You know, it's a nice change of pace, I suppose. I mean, you know, the song didn't necessarily stick with me or anything like that, but, you know, I liked hearing DJ Sabrina sort of in this mode, and I feel like, you know, there's most definitely like potential to dig out here with more tracks to come in the future. Fingers crossed, hopefully that continue to flirt with this direction. We have a new one from Claro as well, one that is quite bassy, quite groovy, though I don't really know if the song and the vocals stand up super well, but still Nomad, opening track to her full-length LP that is on the way very soon. And, you know, it's chill. It's not bad. It's a very easy, kind of breezy listen. I'll say that. All right, best tracks of the week. Bunch of those to come. And some really exciting bangers and comebacks in this section. So pay attention. Here we go. We have a new one from Denzel Curry, who is teaming up with That Mexican OT for another teaser, another track for his forthcoming mixtape this year. That should be pretty exciting. Yeah, it's like a hard-hitting Southern rap bit with some great flows on it. Loving this one a lot. It's raw. It's nice. Also liking this new one from Xiu Xiu. Xiu Xiu is back. New record on the way. Common Loon is the name of the single. And I feel like the band hasn't come out with anything this just overtly and directly catchy since like the Wondering era. As many of you know, that Xiu Xiu spectrum tends to slide between stuff that is post-punky and lo-fi and kind of direct, you know, has a bit of an indie appeal. Other records are far more avant-garde and harsh and experimental and abstract and noisy. Obviously, there's no real accounting for whether or not the rest of the album is going to sound like this at this point. But, you know, this new single over here is pretty hooky by general Xiu Xiu standards and quite sweet on the ears. And it would be interesting to hear the band kind of shoot back in that direction after a minute of kind of hanging outside of that realm. But yeah, it's fuzzy, it's melodic, it's groovy. It's a really enjoyable listen for Xiu Xiu. All right, also liking a couple of tracks from this new expanded edition of the recent Underscores album. Yeah, there's a lot of tracks added into the mix in this second disc. Some of them are kind of long and ambitious, especially CCTV, but the one that really kind of stuck out to me had to be Stupid Can't Run From the Urge. That one almost has like a kind of a J-pop influence to some of the grooves and some of the synth parts on it that I think played over really well with Underscore's usual style. So this one bangs for sure. We also have a new one from Tribulation, who are coming through with like some really kind of rich and I would say kind of like romantic, somewhat black metal adjacent metal music fused with some very moody, low-key goth rock, and they're kind of switching back and forth between those two vibes across the track in different ways. And it sounds stellar, and it sounds fantastic. I'm liking the song a lot. I'm liking the vocals a lot. I'm liking the versatility quite a bit as well. The name of the track is Saturn Coming Down. Moving on from there, we have a new one from Toro y Moi Tuesday. This is interesting. Chaz has always been a super versatile guy. You never know what you're going to get. on a new Toro y Moi album. That is the Toro y Moi magic, okay? That is the Toro magic. But this time, Chaz is like, I think really hitting us for a loop. He's doing something that's almost like a trap emo summer jam fusion kind of thing on this new track. And he's actually doing the vibe, he's doing the sound justice. I mean, you hear a lot of artists dabbling in exactly this sort of thing on TikTok on a regular basis, and it sounds like shit, and it's annoying, and the songwriting is piss, and the vocals aren't even that good. Chaz is doing it over here, and he's bringing to it a bit of finesse, a bit of style. You know, this may not be the cup of tea of many old school Toro y Moi fans, but as somebody who's been, you know, observing his progression for a long time, it's interesting to see him, you know, kind of try his hand at this and challenge himself and stay versatile and keep things interesting with a nice catchy summer bop. So there you go. Liking this one quite a bit too. Again, Tuesday is the name of the track. All right, Sophie, rest in peace. New posthumous album on the way. First Taste, first single from it, features none other than Kim Petras, also BC Kingdom. Reason Why is the name of the song. And we're not even getting the deconstructed with our club anymore at this point. It's just the club. And it's quite anthemic. It's groovy. Synth parts are great. A lot of earworms across the track. And yeah, I think if the rest of the album is shaping up to be this good, we are in for quite a treat with this forthcoming Sophie record, that is for sure. All right, we have a new one from Sevdaliza as well, who has a couple of features on this new track, Alibi. Pablo Vittar totally kills it on the track, that's for sure. And yeah, it's just got a really sharp chorus, good dance grooves, liking it. Also really enjoying this new Ravyn Lenae track. Ravyn has seen fit to drop a couple singles for this forthcoming album so far. The one that I want to highlight, though, is Love Me Not. Oof, the vocals on it are so good. But yeah, make sure to hit this one if you're, you know, an alt pop and R&B fan, for sure. You're not going to want to miss this one. Also, Mason Ramsey, all the way to Memphis. The Yodel boy is back at it again. You know, I feel like he just sounds best when he's really bringing it back and doing kind of an old school ballad, you know, and that's what he's doing again on this newest song over here. The lyrics are solid. The vibes are nostalgic. Nice spotlit vocal. Some, you know, sort of sad, weepy guitar arpeggios in the background. You can't go wrong. It's a killer formula, and it complements him really well. All right, a couple more. Melt Banana. I'm not even gonna hedge this, preface this. Just raw. Greatest Japanese noise rock band of all time. Period. Point blank. Period. Okay, I said it. Debate me in the comments. I don't give a fuck. They have a new record on the way. 3+5. First song from it, of course, is killer, is fast, is blistering, is nonstop. It'll tear your goddamn head off, and for whatever reason, it sounds cute and fun at the same time. Flipside is the name of the track, and yeah, it's a blood pumping gut punch. Okay, give it a listen. Don't miss it. And finally, shout out to the one and only Amaarae, who continues to push boundaries, experiment, and do some really interesting stuff on this new expanded edition of her latest full-length LP, where we're getting a lot of extra tracks, deluxe tracks. So, of course, we're hearing you know, more of that like Afrobeats fusion, just bringing together tons of elements of electronic music and psychedelic music and all sorts of abstract stuff with Amaare's trademark killer, just like very, very high-ranged vocals, which just sound angelic and otherworldly. The song Jehovah Witness is the one I would like to point your guys' way, but pretty much everything I've heard from these additional tracks is great. You can't really go wrong with any of the songs. And that is going to be it for the weekly track roundup, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. Love you. Hopefully you got some good recommendations out of the video. Mwah! Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or a link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, weekly tracks forever.